Elkins Knights, they had several playoff games, Houston West Side, and then they were taken to the limit with Fort Bend Dulles, another one-game playoff with Freeport Brazoswood, 6-5, and that was at the Astrodome, and a come-from-behind fashion win. 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning for Elkins to pull it out, and then taking it to the limit again with another neighbor, Fort Bend Clements, 25A, well represented in the 2003 baseball playoffs. Danks, a left-hander against Carpenter, the shortstop, right-handed batter. First pitch is a strike called, and we're underway from the diamond here in Round Rock. 400 to straightaway center, 405, and then 407 out in left and right center. And the pitch hits Carpenter on the leg. Hit by pitch, and he is at first base. In the power alleys, it's 375, and down the right field and left field line, it is 335. So a runner at first hit by pitch, and John Danks, the pitcher, really plunked Carpenter, and Carpenter's going to have to try to run it off. It must have stung a little bit. Yeah,
Danks with a 90 to 92 mile an hour fastball, tremendous cut fastball, also a good curveball. He has racked up the honors here his senior season. Gatorade State Player of the Year, also the Syntex Player of the Year, first team All-District. The 9 overall draft pick of the Texas Rangers, and I had an opportunity to see this young man pitch against Plano East, and he's got a tremendous arsenal.
Hit by pitch to start off the top of the first inning in the state championship ball game. This is Class 5A. Everybody else has been decided. This is the only ball game that plays on a Saturday at high noon here. Swing and a base hit to left field by Spencer Jackson. Runners at first and second and nobody out. This is almost a carbon copy of the way the Elkins Knights started off the semifinal ball game yesterday against Flower Mound, getting the 2 runners on first and second. Actually, that was at second and third, and they ended up scoring 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. So here, runners at first and second. The defending state champions are cooking in the top of the first. Matt Carpenter, the third baseman, stands in from the left side, and he takes an off-speed delivery. A strike call. No balls and 1 strike.
There's a curveball from Danks. So he has really 3 out pitches with that fastball, and come in on right-handed batters, that cut fastball and the breaking ball.
Ball gets away from the catcher, and the runners are going to move up to second and third.
A little bit of nerves here for John Danks here in this first inning.
That'll be a wild pitch. There is no room for nerves when you get to this big of a stage.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and break it along the network here for a radio station to identify themselves.
KWNX, Taylor Austin.
Everything you need. KWNX, News Talk 1260.
A Simmons media station.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. Left-handed batter Carpenter, the third baseman, slightly open stance. The left-hander will bring it. The fastball stays high, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And as far as the future for this left-hander, obviously opportunity perhaps to sign with the Texas Rangers. And if he decides to go to college, he's looking at the University of Texas.
2-2 swing and a base hit into right field. 1 run will score, and Carpenter, the third base coach, will put the stop sign up for the third base runner, Spencer Jackson. On top here in the top of the first, and they lead 1-0 on the TSRN Sports.com scoreboard.
You see how excited the Knights as they come out of their dugout to greet Will Carpenter as he comes in with the first run of the ball game, and that breaks a shutout string of 23 innings of shutout baseball by Dragon pitching.
Runners at first and third. There's still nobody out. 1-0. And the first baseman, Kelly Shear, will come to the plate. And Shear had a heck of a ball game in yesterday's ball game against the Flower Mound Jaguars. Going the distance, completing the ball game. Stretching the pitch. Fastball from Danks misses high. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Elkins 1 here in the top of the first inning, looking for more. Fastball stays high. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. This is almost an exact card in the bottom of the first inning yesterday. Here it's only in the top of the first inning. There is a visit to the mound by head coach John Langerhans. We're going to remind you, though, that Texas Sports Radio Network, TSRN, continuation of the rich tradition of Texas high school sports. You can listen live, read, surf, and then listen again on the Texas Sports Radio Network, the only site to capture the hearts and imagination and the loyalty of the faithful Texas sports fan. This is Texas Sports, and we are the Texas Sports Radio Network, TSRNsports.com. A little calm down session from Langerhans to try to calm down Danks, as Chambliss, the catcher, also trying to settle him down. Count of 2 balls, no strikes to Kelly Shear, the first baseman. Runners on the corners, they take their leads, and the pitch. Fastball misses low, ball 3.
Middle infield in at double play depth, trying to get that ground ball up the middle. They will trade the run for a couple of outs.
3 balls, no strikes, runners on the corners. The stretch and pitch showing bunt, pulls it back, and there's a strike call. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Fast. Shearer, I think, taking all the way, even though he showed bunt.
Again, the stretch. Runners on the corners. The curveball in there for a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Shearer, I don't think was expecting that big bender.
A gutsy pitch there on a 3-1 count by Danks.
So after the visit from their coach, seems like he's settling down just a bit. 3-2. Fastball right there. Strike 3 called at the letters. And Shearer flips the bat. A little bit disgusted with himself. What a heck of a job by John Danks after battling back, falling behind 3-0. He comes back and throws 3 straight pitches for called strikes.
Key there, a big strikeout for Danks. Shearer not able to get the ball in play. Now the double play still in vogue, and a chance to get out of the inning and limit the damage.
So 1 out. Runners still on the corners, and Chad Huffman is the second baseman. It's what you call damage control if you're a pitcher. Try to limit the opportunities that the team has, knowing they're going to get at least a run. Throw back to first, and going back in standing is Carpenter.
It's interesting talking before the game with some of the Round Rock players. They feel very confident. They put a couple runs on the board. That would be enough for John Danks to hold it. And he's done that all season. The tremendous array of pitches.
Stretch in the pitch. Popped up foul above the first base dugout, out of play. No balls and 1 strike. When you have a pitcher of the caliber of John Danks, it's important, if you're the opposition, to jump on him early.
And we talked about that yesterday with Shearer struggling a little bit early in that ball game, but you got to get a good pitcher early, because usually they get better as the game moves on.
That is a mark of all the great ones. Throw to first, and going back in standing again is Carpenter. A near capacity crowd here on hand at the ballpark. Swinging a foul back to the base of the screen. No balls and 2 strikes.
That may have been the cut fastball coming in on the hands of Chad Huffman. Just barely able to get a piece of it.
On deck is Grant Taylor, the catcher.
Now, wouldn't be surprised if Danks comes with a fastball or a curveball away, try to put away Huffman.
Inning started with the hit by pitch, Will Carpenter, and then Spencer Jackson had a base hit into left field. Wild pitch moved him up to second and third, and then Matt Carpenter, an RBI single into right just before Kelly Shearer then struck out looking. Runners on the corners. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Slightly open stance for Huffman, the second baseman. Bats from the right side, and the fastball stays way up and outside. Ball 1.
Indeed, he tried to go with the fastball away. Lost it upstairs a little bit. Still ahead in the count, though. Still opportunity. Try to put away Huffman.
Elkins wants more than just 1 run, obviously. Fastball way up. Ball 2.
Danks trying to muss up on that one a little bit. Maybe try to throw a little harder than he needs to.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Big hole in left center field. If Huffman is able to shoot one in the gap, possibly Carpenter could score from first base.
Well, obviously, I don't think Huffman can pull a good fastball from Danks. See if he tries to come in on the hands with that cut fastball. Did a couple of pitches ago.
2-2. Look to first. Stretch and pitch. Swing, and there's a tapper. Shortstop will charge. Now it's the third baseman fields, and it's going to be safe by everybody. It went under the third baseman's glove. He had to come a long way to field that ball.
That's probably going to be an E5 as the ball goes under the glove. That will give the batter Huffman credit for an RBI. That would have been a run score, and they were willing to give up the run.
Official score is still talking it over, whether that should be a hit or an E5 error on the third baseman, Peoples. It was not an easy play, but we've seen Peoples make several plays like that throughout the season.
We're talking about, yeah, Peoples, a normal standard, does a good job charging in on that ball in the infield grass. Again, which we still don't have a decision yet from the scorer.
Here's Grant Taylor. Runners at first and second. A run home. Jackson scores. So Halfman will no doubt get an RBI. Depending on what they call it, though. Let's see. But it's 2-0. Fort Bend Elkins out of Missouri City. Region 3 champions, also District 20 champions. 25A. Swung on and lifted foul way down the right field line. Out of play. Strike one. Taylor. One out. No balls, one strike with runners at first and second.
Taylor went up there to take a rip.
A credit Huffman with an infield single.
So credit for the RBI on the infield hit.
Carpenter is at second base and Huffman is at first. No balls, one strike. Right-handed batter Taylor, the catcher, the stretch in the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Really try to shoot that one. Looks like to Waco.
At least aiming for the top of the scoreboard there. He took the big rip. And the curveball looked like they were from Danks and swung right over the top.
No balls, two strikes. A beautiful sunny afternoon on this Saturday, June the 7th. Runners on at first and second. The pitch, fastball, strike three call at the letters.
Second strikeout of the inning for the left-hander, and opportunity to get out of this with just the 2-run scoring and giving the bats plenty of opportunity to get it back for the Dragons.
2 outs. Both of them have been the strikeout looking variety, like you said, Kyle.
Now Mike Chambliss coming out here, have a little chat with his pitcher.
Adam Perry, the left fielder, standing into the batter's box from the right side. Two runs and 3 hits in this inning already for Elkins. We're only in the top of the first. Danks is staying a lot of time out there in the top of the first. Curveball in there for a strike. No balls, one strike.
Yeah, he's starting to get a curveball over pretty consistently now. I think very important here for Elkins to establish that they could score, produce some offense off this tough left-hander.
Look to second in the 0-1. Swing and a foul tip. No balls, 2 strikes.
That fastball has some pretty good life on it coming inside.
David House, the starting pitcher yesterday for Louisville Flower Mound, did not get past the 3rd inning. He had a short time of it, mainly because of his struggles early on. Danks trying to avoid that here against the Elkins Knights. Catcher sets away in the 0-2. Fastball, strike 3 called, and Perry thinks that was just a little bit outside. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on. After a half inning of play, the Elkins Knights lead 2. Round Rock just now coming into bat.
That's 40% off the regular subscription price. Order now and get a copy of 10 Swings from the Tour free with your paid subscription.
To subscribe, call 1-800-773-4400.
Bottom of the first inning on the Texas Sports Radio Network. The Elkins Knights lead 2-0. 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Nick Peoples, the third baseman, swings to the first pitch from Mike Susaneck and fouls it off to the right side. No balls, 1 strike. Susaneck, the left-hander, off-speed pitch misses outside. Ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. Quickly, let's look at the lineups for Round Rock. Peoples, Danks, and Schintling at top 3. 1-1. There's a chopper up the middle. Base hit past the diving second baseman Chad Huffman into center field. Middle three has Wheelis, Chambliss, and Knockreiner, and Wotek, Danks, and Sigmund round out the lineup for Langerhans. Round Rock Dragons. Elkins defensively. Susaneck is on the mound. Taylor is behind the plate. Shear is at first base. Huffman at second. Carpenter at short. Matt Carpenter is at third base. Jackson is in center field, flanked in right by Fuel and in left by Perry. 2-0. Top of the first is now Round Rock gets their leadoff hitter on with a base hit up the middle. There's John Danks. And he takes a ball, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Left-handed batter, Danks is the pitcher trying to help his own cause against Susaneck. Off-speed delivery, a strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And a change of speeds.
1-1. Stretching the pitch. Curveball hit by pitch. Hit him on the lead shoulder, the right shoulder of John Danks. Runners at first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the first inning for the Round Rock Dragons.
As Larry and I talked to some of the Round Rock kids in the dugout, before the ball game, they were very confident about their ability to hit against Susaneck.
The team right now is very confident coming into the series. Only scored 2 runs yesterday, but they played very good ball last week against Plano East in the regional championship, and they have the harder lineup coming up.
First and second take their leads. The pitch stays high, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
And very dangerous business here for Mike Susaneck to keep falling behind the hitters.
What was the mood like down the dugout, Larry, after the top of the first inning?
Well, I think the main thing is right now they were a little bit shocked that Elkins was able to do what they did, and I think it's a focus problem right now. Round Rock needs to get back in the ball game, and they're trying to do it offensively.
Swinging a little flare down the right field line. This might fall fair, and it just goes down the line, foul down the right side.
And going back to the point, I think the main thing is right now, I think both these teams are very confident in their abilities. You got the defending national state champions last year in Elkins, and you got the team that wants that title this year in Round Rock that's been on such a roll, coming in with 35 wins.
A ball and a strike. Travis Schlinting is the hitter.
Schlichting.
Oh. Right-handed batter, throw around to second base. He's out. He got him. Susaneck turned around and quickly fired on to Huffman, who was covering second, and it picked off Peoples.
And Larry, a case of a runner falling asleep on the bases.
Yeah, falling asleep. Runner at first takes his lead. It's a ball to strike. Schinteling, the runner goes to second, pitches high, throw to second, never in time. Stolen base, and now Schinteling shoves Huffman.
Danks.
That's Danks, I beg your pardon. Danks shoves Huffman, and already some heated words exchanged. He slid on the slide because Huffman, covering the throw from second to second base from Taylor, the catcher, got tangled up with Danks.
And then Danks a little extra shove there, and good job by Rick Carpenter coming quickly out of the dugout to try and make sure things keep calm down. We don't have any extracurriculars.
And you can hear the war song, Why Can't We Be Friends, from the mid-70s. That's a perfect theme right here. 2 balls and a strike with 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Elkins. With 2 runs in the top of the first inning. Susaneck gonna try to wiggle out of this one. Look to second, and the pitch. Ball gets away from the catcher. He'll go to third base. The throw never in time.
And good alert base running there by Danks.
That's a wild pitch.
Now, how big does that pick off at second base look?
Well, I don't know if he would have attempted to come home if he was at third base. It was Peoples. Here's the pitch. Stays way up and outside, ball 4. Shalinting takes his base on balls.
And here's the power man in the lineup, Chance Wheelis. We saw him go yard yesterday. A big 2-run shot onto the berm in right field. A changeup rather that was hung up in the zone from Moody, and he got all of that one.
Those were the only 2 runs in the ball game in the semifinal ball game between Round Rock and Corpus Christi Moody. 2-0 final. Left-handed batter Wheelis. And the first pitch is on the outside part of the plate. Strike call at the knees. No balls, 1 strike.
Took something off that pitch right there. There had been a changeup floating over that outside corner.
Runners on the corners. There's the 0-1. Ball gets away from the catcher. It will have the runner move down to second base. Another wild pitch in the dirt.
A breaking ball bouncing in, but give Taylor credit for keeping the ball in front of him enough to not allow Danks to try to score.
And Larry, you know, it's getting away here from Elkins. They built that 2-0 lead.
Hitters that they're facing on the other side, you can't make a mistake to Willis up in the zone, so all the pitches are low and away right now.
1-1. Runners at second and third, tying run. There's 1 out. Left-handed batter Wheelis almost nipped him. Comes inside on the pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
We're talking about all the pitches, breaking balls down in the zone. That time he tries to come in with an inside fastball, and you better keep it inside because I've talked to Chance and he likes fastballs on the inner half of the plate.
2-1. Here's the pitch. Popped it up, foul, and that will be right at the base of the screen. Catcher Taylor came out and hustled. Could not make the catch. I see you brought your fishing net.
And we talk about the fishing net all there. Here it is for a little foul ball popped up over the screen here into our box. I'll tell you what, beautiful ballpark here in Round Rock.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Left-handed batter Wheelis. Susaneck will go from the full wind. He gets his sign from Taylor. The wind and the pitch. Little pop-up, shortstop, third baseman. Third baseman right at the edge of the outfield grass makes the catch, Matt Carpenter.
That is a huge out right there for Mike Susaneck.
2 outs. Mike Chambliss, the catcher, will come up to the plate.
And we have a runner on at third base. It's going to be Thomas Patton.
So Danks is lifted for the courtesy runner, Patton. Usually pitchers and catchers get courtesy runners in high school sports, or in baseball at least. Left-handed pitch is on the outside part of the plate, a strike called. No balls, 1 strike.
A little bit of a liberal strike zone there for curveball in the outer half.
Chambliss didn't like that one. The second pitch is popped up foul above the first base dugout into the upper deck here.
And again, we saw Chambliss there with the pitch away from him, trying to go to right field.
No balls, 2 strikes. The wind in the 0-2. Just missed. Up and away.
The Knights were nice. Whole infield was headed for the dugout. They thought there was going to be run up for a strike 3.
A ball and 2 strikes. 1 and 2 with 2 outs. Runners at second and third take their leads. Elkins 2. Round Rock nothing. Popped up. Little flare. Right fielder comes in near the line. Fuel makes the catch. He had him played perfectly. And that will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on.
Terrific season thus far, and the best of luck this weekend on the road to the state championship.
Top of the second inning, 2-0 Elkins, and the left-handed batter Susaneck takes a pitch up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
We talked about damage control. Great job there by Susaneck.
Fastball stays up and outside.
Say by Susaneck to keep Round Rock off the board. The Dragons threatening there with a runner at third base.
Wind and pitch from Danks. Fastball is a strike on the outside part of the plate. Now that Danks has an inning underneath his belt, probably feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, it looked like he may be about to settle in. He's getting that curveball over. Now he moved that fastball in and out.
Fastball stays high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, it's never easy to hit a left-hander that has that sweeping curveball. That's coming from experience. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Susaneck strikes out. That is strikeout number 4, and in fact, all of his 4 outs to this point in the ballgame have been strikeouts. This was the first to be swinging, though.
Right. He had 3 Knights batters looking in the first inning, and now this, of course, this is a really high start against Plano East last week in the Regional Championship Series. Into that game with 14 strikeouts. Now 168 on the season for the left-hander.
Chris Morris, the DH, takes a ball. It goes to the backstop. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
And we see the approach of these Elkins hitters like they did yesterday. They're going to be very, very patient, try to make Danks come to them with something over the middle or heart of the plate.
One and 0 the count. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. The wind and pitch almost hits Morris as he comes in inside. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, thanks so much for listening to us wherever you may be on TSRNsports.com. Strike called.
The time he got an inside corner call, came in with the fastball.
Wind and pitch. Stays high, ball 3.
Danks kind of up in the zone again here in this inning. They come back to strike out Susaneck. Now down 3-1 this count.
3-1 the pitch, way up high, ball 4, and Morris takes a 1-out walk. That's the first walk issued today by Danks.
Shortstop, number 9, Will Carpenter.
Will Carpenter, the shortstop. Hit by a pitch in the leg to start things off, and then later came around to score on a Matt Carpenter single. Runner at first takes his lead. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher, the stretch of the pitch. Stride right down the middle. No balls and 1 strike. Carpenter getting a sign from his third base coach, the head coach, Rick Carpenter of Fort Bend Elkins. The 0-1 with 1 out. Runner at first, a little bit bigger lead, and Morris will stay put as that one misses low and away. Ball 1.
That looked like the cutter trying to run it away from the right-handed batter.
One ball, 1 strike. Right-handed batter. A little bit of an open stance. The left-hander foul down the third baseline. Larry, a lot of balls just grazing the aluminum bats, the Elkins Knights, from John Danks.
I think one thing you're seeing right now is him getting a lot more around the plate, being able to use more diverse pitches. And if he gets that cut fastball to start getting to the corners on both sides, inside and outside, either left-handers or right-handers, then he becomes that much more effective. I think that first inning was more of a settling thing. He was very nervous going out, tried not to show it. But I think when you face a hitting lineup like Elkins, you're going to have to feel your way through a little bit.
The ball and 2 strikes. Runner goes. The pitch is swung on, and this one's going to gap in right center field, and the runner falls down. But he'll scoot on to third base, and sliding in safely with a 1-out double is Will Carpenter. Moving to third is Morris. Morris could have had thoughts of scoring if he wouldn't have slipped and fell down in between second and third. That's the 4th hit for the Elkins Knights. That is the first extra base hit.
An opportunity here for the Knights to play a little add-on against a very tough pitcher.
Spencer Jackson, a right-handed batter. And he had a hit to left field his first time up, so second and third now in the top of the second inning for the Elkins Knights. Look to second. Danks will bring it to the plate. And it is in there for a strike call. No balls, one strike.
If you're a Round Rock fan, down to that 168 strikeout total, it's really a situation right now where he needs a strikeout, strand these runners on second and third to get out of this inning unscathed.
Opportune strikeouts is what a pitching coach would call it. The 0-1. A little flare. Left fielder charges. This might fall, and it will fall past the diving left fielder. One run will score, and that'll be all. They had to wait to see if Jordan Danks was going to come up with the spectacular catch. He did not. And Jackson collects his second hit. Both of them to left field. Knights now take a 3-0 lead on the TSRNsports.com scoreboard.
And give the shortstop Schlichting credit for going out, backing up the play as the ball bounced by Danks out there in left field. He got there quickly to hold the runner at third base, keep that extra run from scoring.
Matt Carpenter, the third baseman, has runners now on the corners. There's still one out, so you put the ball in play. You figure you might get another run out of this if you're Elkins. Stretch and pitch from Jenks. It's in there for a strike. No balls, one strike. A little bit of an off-speed pitch in the inside part of the plate.
I think that was the cutter there from Danks, running in on the hands of the left-handed batting Matt Carpenter.
It had movement, looked like an off-speed pitch from here at least. Here's the 0-1. There's a chopper. First baseman fields, so goes to second for one. On to first. Not in time. Safe. And the run scores.
What a play, though, by Chance Wheelis.
Fielder's choice 3-6. And Carpenter gets the RBI.
Carpenter credit for his second RBI of the ball game.
4-0 Fort Bend Elkins on the TSRNsports.com scoreboard. Taking advantage of opportunities, the Elkins Knights, because this is a tough pitcher as it goes along.
Down on the field.
Now with the umpire, what is he talking about, Larry?
Well, you think you're talking about interference right here. Langerhand's going down to talk to second base umpire. He thought that the runner going into second overslid the bag and took out the shortstop Schlichting.
4-0 on 5 hits now.
It's already 43 pitches in the ball game for Danks. He just needs to battle his way out of it, try to get this batter and limit the damage and let the Dragons bats go to work against Susaneck.
Runner at first, Kelly Shear, the hitter. Fastball is a strike called around the belt area. No balls, one strike. 0 for 1. Shear struck out looking, and that was in the first.
And Danks is one of those pitchers that can get those high strike calls with that fastball.
Quite a few pitches. A fly ball into center field. Wotek is under, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. 2 more runs come home on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on.
Let's shop Bain Appliance. Let's shop Bain Appliance.
Oh, baby.
Let's shop Bain Appliance.
Oh, baby.
Let's shop Bain Appliance. Yeah, you can get your hands on all the best name brands at Bain Appliance. Let's shop Bain Appliance.
Yep, 5 big stores means big buying power and lower prices. And at the new store on Old Katy and Beltway, Bain now features home theater system. Don't you forget these 5 letters, B-A-Y-N-E, BainAppliance.com on the web.
1 ball, 1 strike as we come back to action. The designated hitter, Matt Knockreiner, the left-handed batter, the pitcher in yesterday's ball game. 4-0 Fort Bend Elkins. Swinging a 2-hopper to the first baseman Shear. He'll field it himself. 3 unassisted and 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Wade Wotek, the center fielder, comes up to the plate.
Center fielder, number 2, Wade Wotek.
2 runs in the top of the first and 2 runs in the top of the second inning for Fort Bend Elkins. of Missouri City. Wind and pitch from Susaneck. The left-hander curveball in there. Strike one. No balls, one strike. Rick Carpenter has had a fine group of young gentlemen. Curveball is a swing and a miss. No balls, two strikes. And we were talking with him, or we've talked with him several times. He's so proud of these young men and able to accomplish what they have. Several said that they possibly would not be back here. Some of the experts, or so-called experts. 0-2, low and outside, ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes because of last year's dominant pitching from James Loney and Wardell Starling.
Of course, they had a left-hander Shearer ready to step in.
There's a tapper foul down the third baseline.
My point was going to be that Shearer, number 3 starter, that would have been a number 1 starter for most other teams in the state, so he was ready to step in and be the ace for Coach Carpenter.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Wade Wotek, the center fielder, right side. It misses high, bats to the right side, ball 2, 2 balls, no strikes. Two on the way. Popped up. Second baseman Huffman is under it, makes the catch. Had a range just a bit to his left, but he's under it, made the catch. And 2 outs.
That's now 4 straight batters set down by Mike Susaneck.
He might be settling into more of a groove now.
We talked a lot about Danks, but this is a very good number 2 pitcher as well, senior.
Go anywhere else, you can be the number 1 starter for a lot of ball clubs. 2 outs, nobody on, left-handed batter. Swing and a miss. Jordan Danks, the left fielder.
That was a beautiful curveball there from the left-hander Susaneck. That was his 30th pitch of the ball game.
0-1, 2 outs. Wind and the pitch. In there for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Two outs, nobody on, 4-0. Elkins over the lead. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away from the catcher. No problem. He'll just throw it to first and complete the strikeout, and that will retire the side. 1-2-3 for the Round Rock Dragons in the bottom of the second inning. Elkins leading the state championship ball game, Class 5A. 4-0. I beg your pardon. This is now the top of the third. And Chad Huffman, Grant Taylor, and Adam Perry will be due up against the left-hander John Danks. Time is called. And he gets back in the batter's box. Bats to the right side, and Huffman, an RBI single, infield hit his first time up. Takes an off-speed pitch. First pitch, strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. On deck is Grant Taylor. Wind in the 0-1. Fly ball, deep left field. This ball is up, and this ball is gone. Chad Huffman, touch 'em all. 5-0, Fort Bend Elkins.
Huffman got a pitch up in the zone, and he cranked it out to left field. That ball's gone a minute left to trademark.
And Missouri City is pretty happy about what's going on right now.
That is the second extra base hit of the game for the Knights. And this has to be shocking a lot of people. 5 runs off of a very good pitcher in John Danks.
This is, after all, the defending state champion.
They sure are proving why here at the moment.
5 runs on 6 hits. Grant Taylor, the catcher, this afternoon is, and that was in the first inning. That was a long shot down. Strike call. That was right straight away to left field. No balls, 1 strike. What a blast, Larry.
Nothing lead.
2-1, wind and pitch. Fouled back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. And what's the mood in the dugout over there with the Round Rock Dragons, Larry?
Well, I think the one thing that Elkins has going for them right now is they don't fear John Danks on the mound. The way he's pitching, they're hitting him hard, and he's not showing the intimidation he's shown in the last 2 series. This is taking on the earmarks of the game they lost to Rockwall in game number 2 of the regional semifinal series up at Baylor University in Waco. And right now they've got to use the same approach to get back into this ball game and try to win the state championship. They know they're down, but they know they're not out.
Previous pitch was a strike to Taylor. 0-2. Well, 5-0 lead with a team that's the defending state champion is going to be awfully hard to overcome. But this is baseball as the pitch stays inside, ball 1. And as you know, and you've seen a lot of baseball over your years, Larry, anything is possible.
Well, I think the one thing they got to focus on right now, if you're the Round Rock Dragon fan, is the main thing to get back in this ball game 1 run at a time. You can't get it all back at once, especially against a great pitcher like Susaneck.
There's no such thing as the 5-run home run. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The wind and pitch is shot into right center field, and that will fall for a base hit.
Again, a pitch up in the zone, a little bit outside, and taking it into right field is Grant Taylor, and Elkins continues to put on a clinic.
7 hits now for the defending state champions, and the courtesy runner will be Kyle Langer. Langer will courtesy run for Taylor. Nothing on the Texas Sports Radio Network, TSRNsports.com. There's nobody out. Adam Perry, the left fielder, will come up to the plate. He struck out looking his first time up. So much for the pitching duel. This has been all Elkins.
As Larry's talking about, they are not intimidated by Danks.
Stretch and pitch, low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes.
They've continued the patient approach they've used all season, and particularly yesterday in the semifinals. And they're getting good pitches to hit, and they're doing something with them.
If you think about it, they have seen some pretty tough pitching out of Region 3. 1 ball, no strikes. Strike on the inside part of the plate, fastball. So you get used to seeing top-notch pitching out of that region. In the Houston area. Look to first. And the 1-1. Misses low. Ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. Susaneck, the pitcher, is on deck. Catcher sits way outside the 2-1. Fouled back to the base of the screen. Right behind home plate, 2-2.
And Perry got a pretty healthy rip at that one.
Well, it all started with Will Carpenter in that first inning being hit by a pitch, and they have taken advantage of the opportunities. The 2-2, low and inside, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Last year, the Elkins Knights in the state championship ball game against Austin Bowie jumped out to a huge lead and ended up going 7 innings because Bowie made a little rally and a little push at the very end.
And you can never count these Round Rock Dragons out. They've come from behind before. The job here for John Danks is to keep the Elkins Knights right where they are.
Full count. Perry will await the pitch from Danks. Swung on and fouled above the first base dugout.
And again, another good rip there for Perry.
Last year that final was 11-4 over Austin Bowie. Elkins winning it. 3-2. The pitch. Chopper that's fouled on the third base line. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to run that cutter there on the outside part of the plate, and Perry able just to get a piece of it and stay alive.
Baking in the sun. A lot of fans A strong attendance, swinging a shot foul down the third base line again. And they're getting their hacks at John Danks.
Coach Carpenter had to do a little step to get out of the way of that ball. A hot shot at that third base line by Perry.
Well, I remember last night we were all in our production meeting at our hotel. We'll get to that here after this. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They'll look to first in the pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner, and Perry is gone for out number 1 and strikeout number 5. 4 of them have been caught looking.
Pretty good battle there between Perry and Danks. Danks wins it there with the call strike 3.
Susaneck the hitter, but I was saying that Larry, you and I were in our production meeting in our hotel room last night. We were all saying with these 2 pitchers could be 1:30 by the time we get out of here. Low, ball 1, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, so much for 1:30. We're almost coming up on 1 o'clock, and we're in the top of the 3rd inning. Left-handed batter Susaneck. Runner goes. Pitch is low. Throw to second base. Not in time. Safe. He stole that one on Danks, the pitcher.
Yeah, he got a tremendous jump.
Two balls, no strikes. So Susaneck. Susaneck struck out swinging his first time up, but that was in the 2nd inning. Base getting loose over there. Hear more broadcasts than your brain can absorb. From Dallas to Abilene, Austin to Southlake, Kilgore to Deer Park, and Katy, and a whole lot more.
Hopefully I have it spelled right.
TSRNsports.com, the greater Houston area megaplex, as well as Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. We are the Texas Sports Radio Network, and this is Texas Sports. TSRNsports.com. Football not too far away. I think the countdown has begun already at our main offices in Houston. 12 weeks, I believe, or it's 11 weeks.
Yeah, the last week of August with 0-week action.
Time is called. One of the coaches complaining about the fans on top of the dugout on the first base side. Maybe some reflectors into the sun or something like that, distracting the players. Larry, what do you see down there, Larry?
Well, right now you got a situation where they're just trying to clear the dugouts, make sure everybody's off the top, and all the signage and stuff like that. They just don't want anything to come into play that might blow onto the field to cause harm to either the players or the fans in general.
If there's some way we can get a camera shot of Larry, he is hanging around that fan. He does not want to leave the fan. He's got the cool air blowing in.
He's still getting charbroiled out there in the
everybody
warm
else
sun.
is about 90 degrees, 94. 2 balls, no strikes to Susaneck. Left-handed pitcher Danks. The look to second. The pitch showing bunt, and he bunts it perfectly down. Susaneck is out though, but moving to third base is Langer.
Give Danks credit for getting over there down the first base line and making the play, but a well-placed bunt there off the bat of Susaneck.
Good play by Danks because he had to barehand the ball and flip underhand to the first baseman Wheelis. 2 outs and another runner is at third base. Kyle Langer, the courtesy runner for Grant Taylor. Here's Chris Morris, the designated hitter. Bats from the right side, slightly open stance. Stretch from Danks at the belt, the kick and the pitch. A pop-up, right field. Parrish under it, makes the catch, and that will retire the side.
Locations have ASE certified technicians for your repair and maintenance needs and feature a nationwide Goodyear Gemini service warranty. Come by and see them at Lamb's Tire and Automotive Centers. And congratulations to the Round Rock Dragons, and good luck in the state championship baseball games.
Base hit to left field. And that's the second hit. Actually, it was an infield hit. Shortstop was deep in the hole. Carpenter could not make the throw, and Sigmund, a leadoff hitter, is on with the infield hit deep to short as we begin the bottom of the third. 5-0 Fort Bend Elkins from Missouri City. The Elkins Knights lead on the TSRNsports.com scoreboard. Nick Peoples lifts a high fly to left. Perry is under. Not a very long fly ball, but a high one, and that's out number one as he comes up and makes the catch. One out.
2 pitches in the inning. We have 1 hit and a fly ball to right.
The pitcher, John Danks.
Has a proverbial chance to help his own cause here.
36 wins and 3 losses for the Round Rock Dragons in 2003. That is including yesterday's win over the Corpus Christi Moody Trojans 2-0. Makes a curveball strike. No balls and 1 strike. Hit by a pitch in the first inning and was stranded at third base. Curveball on the outside part of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike called.
Grumbling there from the Round Rock faithful as Susaneck got a call there on the outside corner on the breaking pitch.
The pitch, low ball, gets away from the catcher, not far enough to advance the runner. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's a good block there by Taylor going out to his left with the breaking ball in the dirt.
Runner at first, Sigmund, infield hit to deep short, led off the inning and then fly ball to left, Nick Peoples. Runner at first, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A pop up off the end of the bat. This one's going to carry into shallow center. Jackson comes on, makes the catch, and there are 2 away.
Didn't wait back enough on the breaking ball there, kind of got the hands out in front, just popped it up in the center field, a little lazy fly ball.
You want to give a little bit of love to your friends?
The Elkins
Peg
and the folks at the Booster Club at Elkins High School, and the Knights closing in on perhaps a back-to-back state championship here in Class 5A.
2 outs. Tapper foul down the third base line by Schickling. Schlichting, the right-handed batter, have yet to have an official at bat. He walked in the first and then was stranded at second base. Fly ball, it's foul down, that's a ground shot, foul down the left field line. No balls, 2 strikes. Last time we had a back-to-back championship, 87-88, Abilene Cooper.
Well, this would be, if they pull it off, would be the 3rd state title for the school, Elkins, where they won in 95, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check that.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, low, ball 1.
Whereas for Round Rock, they've been here twice, looking to make it 2 for 2 as far as state titles. Won the championship in 97.
They beat Lubbock Monterey in 97, 7-1. 1-2. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 5-0 Elkins on the TSRNsports.com scoreboard in the bottom of the 3rd inning as the Round Rock Dragons try to chip away at this 5-run Elkins Knights lead. Look to first. Sigmund the lead. The pitch. Curveball stays up and outside, and it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, after 2 strikes there, a couple of fastballs, he's tried to come back with 3 breaking balls here and missed. And
in 1995, Sugarland Elkins, Missouri City, beat Lubbock Coronado 6-0. And then last year, like I said earlier in the broadcast, they beat Austin Bowie 11-4. So if they win, it would be for the 3rd time in their short school history. The school is only, what, about 10 years old?
About 10 years old. Remarkable achievement in this sport for a school just a decade old. They have turned into the preeminent power in the state of Texas.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch up and away, ball 4.
Good at bat there for Schlichting.
Schlichting with the walk. That's his second walk, and that is the second walk to be issued by Susaneck.
Now here's a big chance here with the big first baseman Chance Wheelis. And he has got some pop. He hit his 9th home run of the season yesterday afternoon. Provide Matt Knockreiner with the 2 runs he would need in the semifinal game yesterday.
Wheelis, left-handed batter, popped up to the third baseman his first time up with 2 outs. Here's Susaneck's pitch. And that one misses, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. I think Larry would agree that it's time for the Dragons to start chipping away now.
Well, this is an important part of the game right now with their big home run hitter up there. He could deliver a telling bonus ball game right here.
Shot into right field, and that'll fall in front of the right fielder, Fewell, but he gets it quickly back into the infield, and everybody has to stop before they can go on home. The bases are loaded now with 2 outs in the bottom. Far and away the best chance the Round Rock Dragons have had in this ball game.
Boy, you want Willis to pull that ball completely down into the corner and get 2 runs home and climb you right back in the ball game. Still, with now 2 outs in the inning, a chance for Susaneck to pitch out of this inning and get Elkins back into the dugout with a 5-run lead.
It looked like Langerhans there was going to send him originally, but he saw that the right fielder Field came up quickly with the ball, and he held Sigmund on at third base.
Sigmund at third, Schlichting at second, Wheelis is at first, and here's Mike Chambliss, the catcher. Right-handed batter, 0 for 1. Fly ball to right field his first time up. Susaneck will go from the full wind. The left-hander winds and kicks and delivers. There's a strike called on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. And again, the Round Rock Dragon fans are not agreeing with the home plate umpire's strike zone. 0-1, wind and pitch. A little flare down the right side. First baseman Scheer giving a chase, but it just lands foul before he can get to it. It's near the railing down the first base line as it jets out here at the ballpark here in the Round Rock. No balls, 2 strikes. He has him right where he wants him. Doesn't have to throw anything now. Chambliss the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's clutch pitching by Mike Susaneck, and that'll retire the side. 4th inning on the Texas Sports Radio Network. The Round Rock Dragons trail. It's 5-0. And to take you through the 4th and the 5th, here is Kyle Nickel.
Thank you, Gerald. It will be Will Carpenter, Spencer Jackson, and Matt Carpenter, the top third of the order for the Elkins Knights, as left-hander John Danks fires the first pitch. That's a rope, but foul to third base line. Ball smoked up the third base line, but it was 0-1 pitch here to Will Carpenter. Here it is. The high pop. It's going to stay on the infield. It's Schlichting, the shortstop, over towards the second base bag, and he's there to make the catch. That's 1 down in the top of the 4th. And so the batter now will be Spencer Jackson.
Center fielder, number 34, Spencer Jackson.
Jackson so far in the ball game is 2 for 2. He's driven in a run. Pulled the ball in the left field on both his base hits. Right-handed batter. Here's the pitch. That ball's hit in the left field. That could be trouble in the corner. It's going to bounce up against the wall. And it goes over the head of the left fielder Danks. He'll pick it up. He'll fire back in towards the cutoff man. And standing at second with the double is Spencer Jackson.
Well, Spencer Jackson has just been on fire. He is continuing to hit the ball well. He's 3 for 3 in this afternoon's ball game. And I think Larry has also picked up on an observation of Spencer Jackson. Spencer Jackson and Larry have spent much time in the batting cage, and he is really ripping the ball well.
And right now, Danks struggling with his control. He's getting the fastball up, and Elkins is punishing him.
So look back to second. Here's the pitch to Matt Carpenter. That's going to be in there for, all right, ball one. Fastball missing off that outside corner. Count is 1 ball, no strikes. Another fastball. That one caught the outside corner. It's 1-1. One pitch. That's a breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 2. A ball and 2 strikes now to Carpenter. Carpenter is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Singled in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the second inning. That's from the left side against the southpaw. That's a swing and a miss. Swung right over a good fastball. Late breaking movement downward. Strikeout number 6 for John Danks, the second of those to be swinging. And now 2 outs in the bottom half of the, or top half of the 4th rather. And the batter will be Kelly Shearer, the first baseman. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, that's called strike on the outside corner. Count is 0-1. Shearer 0 for 2, struck out looking in the first, and flied out to center fielder Reed Wojtek back in the second inning. As a pitch, fastball called strike on the knees. The count is 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners out. That pitch, a cutter, called strike 3 on the outside corner, and that's going to go ahead and do it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left for the Knights. Move on to the bottom half of the 4th inning here in the state championship game, Class 5A. Elkins leading 5-0.
WNX.
Half of the 4th inning. The first pitch is a strike call to Matt Knockreiner. It'll be Knockreiner, Wojtek, and Danks, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Elkins Knights, or for the Round Rock Dragons, I beg your pardon. There's a strike called. And get up, here's ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So it's 1-1 to knock. The left-hander Mike Susaneck for the Elkins Knights. Here's the kick in the pitch. Fastball, that's going to be down for ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike to count. Knockreiner grounded out to the first baseman Shearer. There's a line drive that's going to be played on hot by the shortstop Carpenter, but he won't be able to make the pickup. And safe at first will be Knockreiner.
That should be ruled a base hit.
Yeah, that ball hit very, very hard. Now they're going to call it an E6.
An error on the shortstop.
Wow,
Okay.
that's tough.
Well, tough crowd. But the Round Rock Dragons will take it any way they can.
Situation, they're just looking to get base runners. We're going to have a runner on at first base for Round Rock. They'll catch the
Remember, last inning they left the bases loaded.
Chris Culpepper, the runner on at first for Knockreiner. Now the batter will be Reed Wojtek, the center fielder. He popped out to second baseman Chad Huffman back in the second inning. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a little bit down for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to count to Wojtek. There's a strike called, and now the count of 1-1.
Seems like because Susaneck has had good control with those off-speed pitches, the home plate umpire is more inclined to give him pitches on the outside part of the plate.
Here's the pitch. Bunted up in front of the plate, going to get his catcher Taylor. Throw on to first base, sliding, safe, and the throw gets away from the first baseman. Nice play by Huffman, though, backing up. Keep that ball from going down the line. That'll be a bunt single.
You see, one of the things that people fail to realize if they're just a casual baseball observer, they think the only action is between the pitcher, catcher, and the hitter, but that's not true. Everybody is moving on a ball that is hit somewhere. Either the second baseman is backing up, the shortstop taking a throw from the catcher, or the catcher is making a backup play on the first baseman, or the cutoff man. There's so many integral parts of baseball that people don't see, and there's a perfect example right there as the second baseman, Huffman, is backing up on the play, on the throw onto first from the catcher, Taylor, onto Shear, and that ball got away. Had Huffman not been backing up, that ball would have gone all the way down the right field line, and Round Rock would have had a run.
There's a strike called to Jordan Danks. Still haven't had a ruling on the, well, it should be a bunt single for Reed Wojtek. There's a swing and a miss. Good changeup from Susaneck. As Gerald talked about, you have to have players backing up on every throw, and a great play by Huffman going down the line, keep that ball from going down into the corner. There's a curveball swing and a miss, and going for a high one was actually a pinch hitter for Danks. That was Kyle Gimbler, pinch hitter for Danks. So he goes down swinging on 3 pitches. Third strikeout of the afternoon for Mike Susaneck. 1 down now in the inning for the Dragons. And now the batter, Brian Sigmund, he had a single into left field. The play that pitch is a breaking ball in there for a strike, and the count is 0-1. Curveball, that's going to be bunt up the third base line, and that's perfectly placed. And there's a pitcher, no play, perfectly placed bunt by Brian Sigmund.
It's getting base runners on and just putting the ball in play. And sometimes the defense doesn't always come up with it. And here we have seen an error, Nackreiner reaching on an error, and then we see a bunt hit, another bunt hit. So a couple of bunt hits here and an error have loaded the bases. The ball has yet to leave the infield.
And a golden opportunity here for the Round Rock Dragons to get right back in this ball game.
And the key thing here in this inning is always 1 out.
So 1 out, and now back up to the top of the order, Nick Peoples. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Breaking ball, that's going to be a called strike on the outside corner. You hear the Round Rock fans on their feet. They are trying to encourage the Dragons. With a golden opportunity here. Bases are loaded. There is 1 man out, bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the kick and the pitch. Curveball down in the dirt. Good block by the catcher, Grant Taylor. That's going to even up the count at 1-1. The center fielder for the Knights, Spencer Jackson, shaded ever so slightly towards left field. There's a pitch called strike on the outside corner. Good breaking ball there from Susaneck. No ball, or 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Nick Peoples. Here is the, now calling for time is Peoples. He'll be granted by the home plate umpire.
I think that Larry would agree that this is an opportune time to have a comeback.
Got a big point in this ball game right now with the bottom of the lineup getting on first and turning the lineup over.
That pitch is going to be down for ball 2. Good job there by Peoples to lay off that pitch.
And an opportunity here right now for Peoples to take some pitches, work the strike count, and get a good pitch to drive.
That pitch hit on the ground, in the hole, the shortstop has it, flips on to Huffman for 1. Throw going to be sailed over the first baseman's head into the dugout. That'll score another run. 2 runs are in for the Dragons. And it's 5-2.
Well, what happened there was, and Rick Carpenter is going to go and talk to the umpire. He's claiming that possibly that could have been interference on the runner's Sigmund, sliding in to second base.
And that caused the throw to go sail high into the dugout. So the Dragons will get a pair here.
Well, they're going to say they get one run with some. Yes, they're going to let the play stand.
So Culpepper scores, and also coming in to score is Wojtek.
So a fielder's choice, 6-4. And
then an E4 on the throw.
E4.
That is the first error on the game either side. Now we're going to have a little conference here by the entire infield as Rick Carpenter is going to talk to his left-hander Mike Susaneck.
And that may be the point right there that the Round Rock Dragons needed. A mistake by the Elkins Knights and an opportunity to climb right back in this ball game. With Danks up at the plate, he can make this a one-run ball game very quickly, and that was so important for the bottom of the lineup. You get that second baseman on and a chance to get that lineup back up there, and now an opportunity here with 2 outs to deliver a telling blow in this ball game.
Now John Danks, a big hitter coming up here for the Round Rock Dragons. That's from the left side as well as throws. As Larry pointed out, this is a big opportunity in this ball game. Here's the kick and the pitch. Curveball tied on the hands. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Coming up, this will be the 68th pitch of the game for.
And 2 outs. That's the key, is 2 outs.
2 outs in the inning. Fastball, it's right above the knees for a strike. Count is 1-1. With 2 outs now, the middle infield has the opportunity now to play back at normal depth. Runner on at second base, that's Peoples. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, called strike 2. This will be the 70th pitch of the game for Mike Susaneck. The Dragons have picked a pair here. A couple infield hits, 2 errors in the inning. I've heard the Knights. Swing and a miss, and got him with the curveball on the outside part of the plate. And that's going to do it here in the inning for the Round Rock Dragons. They pick up 2 runs. There were 2 hits, 2 errors, and 1 runner left on base.
That's what you call some clutch pitching.
So we move on to the 5th inning. Your score, Elkins 5, Round Rock 2, along against John Danks, who for the first time in the 4th inning shut down the Knights without a run scoring. And the Dragons got a couple of runs back. They're now down by 3, 5-2. There's a strike called for count of 0-1. Danks has thrown 74 pitches down in the ball game. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hit up to the third base. Nick Peoples has it. Fires on across to Wheelis for out number 1. Good play to the backhand side by Peoples. Nice strong throw across the diamond.
Now, one of the things that they're going to have to do, the Round Rock Dragons are going to need to retire Elkins 1, 2, 3. Get back in the dugout and start hitting again. Go back out there, and because you're only down by 3 runs, but now outs start becoming a factor. You have 9 outs to play with.
The Knights have out hit the Dragons 8-5, lead on the score 5-2.
With 9 outs to play with, you're down by 3 runs. That's plenty of outs in which you can work with. You don't want to fall too much further than behind. So just keep it at a 3-run deficit if you're Round Rock.
And now stepping in for the Elkins Knights is Grant Taylor, the catcher. That ball roped into left field. That's going to be in there for a base hit. Another hard hit ball there by Taylor, the catcher. And he'll be on at first base with a 1-out single. His second hit of the game, the 9th of the game for the Elkins Knights.
Kyle Langer will come and courtesy run again for Taylor.
So Langer will be the courtesy runner over there for Taylor. Now the batter will be the left fielder, Adam Perry. Open stance here for the right-handed batter. That pitch, fastball up and away. And Larry, an opportunity here for John Danks to try to keep the Elkins Knights right where they are. And he gets plunked. Perry hit on the lead hip. And that's going to move Langer, the pinch runner, down to second base.
All of the trials and tribulations that the Elkins Knights have faced throughout this season is coming to fruition. They know how to handle just about any situation that's given to them. Whether they have the lead or they are down from behind, they always believe and they never give up. They always think that they can come back and pull this one out.
And Larry, opportunity here for Round Rock. They're going to have a little conference on the mound here. They're going to try to settle John Danks down.
And an opportunity here for the Round Rock Dragons to get the defense in the middle of the field and talk about it. Try to get Danks to calm down a little bit, because he's had the worst control we've seen him of the playoffs so far, and he suffered 2 of the 3 losses that Round Rock has suffered this year. So he has been the most vulnerable of the pitching staff, but he's trying to get everything in control right now and pitch his way out of this jam. And he's got to hold the Elkins Knights exactly where they are right now to give his team a chance after getting the 2 runs in the previous inning to climb back into this ball game.
So the batter now will be the pitcher, Susaneck. Susaneck in the ball game has struck out swinging. That was in the second inning. He dropped down a beautiful sac bunt in the third. 0 for 1 officially. The left-hander Danks looks in for a sign from catcher Mike Chambliss. Check back at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike right above the knees. Fastball in the inner half from Danks. The count 0-1 to Susaneck. Opportunity for Elkins to try to get these runs back that they gave up in the bottom of the fourth. It's 5-2 along the Texas Sports Radio Network. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch right under the hands of Susaneck. Breaking ball from John Danks. Close to capacity crowd here at the Diamond. Left-handed batter waiting on the 0-2 pitch. Here it is. Fastball. Called strike there on the outside corner, so Susaneck is run up looking.
As the game has gone along, we've seen Danks settle down more and more. He's not as wild with his control. I mean, he was working several counts deep into the count and was really laboring out there and was leaving some pitches up to where Elkins could hammer it. Now he just seems to be settling down a little bit.
Batter will be Chris Morris, the designated hitter.
And he understands that when runners are on base in a situation like this, there's not time to panic. There's no reason to panic.
Did a good job making his pitches there on Susaneck. Now it'll be Morris.
You know, Larry has seen John Danks throw time and time again, and rarely does he get rattled.
I think right now what you're seeing is John Danks just scuffling. If there was one word to really describe Danks in this ball game, and this is something we haven't seen, he's just off. Whether it's off in this location, off in the strike zone, whatever he is off on, it just seems like right now that he is just not able to find a rhythm out there on the mound. You know how important that is to get a pitcher to get out there, find a pitch that works, work off of that, and try to get something going.
It looked like early in the ball game, Danks not able to get his curveball over the plate or spot that cutter. He's having to throw a lot of fastballs, keeping him up in the zone. Elkins getting a lot of good rips. It looked like he's starting to get that breaking ball a little bit over the plate. It's allowing him to move that fastball in and out and keep those Elkins hitters a little bit more off balance. So here's Morris, the designated hitter. Look back at second, has a turn and a throw, and that's going to go into center field. And a mistake there by the Elkins Knights. They did not pick up that baseball going into center field.
Langer didn't see that ball go to center field at all, and he should have been at third base. And he's hitting himself like he knows it.
And just to let y'all know that Matt Neckreiner is getting the glove. He is fixing to go down in the bullpen to warm up. So the short outing with him yesterday, winning that ball game in such a short fashion and throwing an economical amount of pitches, he's fixing to go to the bullpen and be ready for 6th and 7th inning duty if necessary.
Langer has to keep it close.
Pitch. That's going to be a called strike. The count 0-1 to Morris.
You keep it close, it's easier on you mentally to try to come back than to fight from such a big deficit.
Curveball, it's going to be hit. That's a glove by Peoples. What a play by the third baseman Peoples, going to the backhand side, down the line, goes to the bag at third to get the force out, and that will retire the side for the Elkins Knights. Fifth, they get no runs. They had one hit. There were no errors. 2 men left. Move on to the bottom of the fifth. The score is 5-2 Elkins along the technical. As we go to the bottom half of the fifth inning here, 5A championship game, the first pitch to Travis Schlichting is going to be down for ball 1 from Susaneck. That pitch is going to be down again, ball 2. So Schlichting working ahead in the count 2-0, and big opportunity here for Round Rock with the heart of the order duo.
Porlier is starting to throw in the bullpen now for Elkins.
That pitch is a called ball 3. Fastball sinking down and away. And Schlichting works ahead in the count 3-0. It'll be Schlichting, Wheelis, and Chambliss. Again, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the skipper, John Langerhans. That pitch, strike called at the knees. Split the plate in half. Count is 3-1. That pitch is going to be down, ball 4. So base on ball. That's the third time Schlichting's walked. He's drawn all 3 walks given up by Susaneck. So the leadoff man on here for the Dragons, and now the batter, big Chance Wheelis. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game.
Schlichting has walked 3 times in a row. What an eye for a number 3 hitter.
There's a good breaking ball right above the knees. Split the plate in half for strike 1.
Elkins has seemed like they have been in control all afternoon long. But all of a sudden, the tying run is on deck.
Hit on the ground. That's going to get through into right field. Base hit. And Schlichting's going to have to stop at second. He had the play in front of him. And Larry, a golden opportunity here for the Round Rock Dragons.
And talking to John Danks in the dugout in between innings, he feels very confident what he's doing out there, but this is a little bit of a surprise right here. He thinks that Elkins somehow, some way is tipping the pitches, and they're guessing right on everything that they come up to the plate on. So really, that's what he's facing right now. He doesn't feel physically wrong. He said the arm's okay, the location's okay, but every time he makes a mistake, that Elkins is ready to jump on it.
So now the tying run at the plate in the form of Mike Chambliss, the catcher. Chambliss 0 for 2 in the ball game. Right-handed batter, open stance. Here's the pitch. Curveball, inside corner, right under the hands for a strike. 0-1 the count. Activity in both bullpens. Knockreiner working for the Dragons, and Porlier, the right-hander, loosening up a little for the Elkins Knights. There's a high pop foul. That'll go up into the crowd. Bounce off the facade here. The upper deck. Count holding at 1 ball and are going to no balls and 2 strikes. Chambliss has flied out to right, and he struck out swinging against Susaneck. Check at second. There, the runners fake a break, and that pitch outside. Taylor trying to frame that one on the outside corner, but it was clearly outside.
That was a show-me pitch. That was a setup pitch. He didn't have to give him anything right now because he has 2 strikes.
A ball and 2 strikes. Chambliss may have to go into defensive mode here. Now he's going to ask for time, and he'll get it. Step out of the box. Runner at second base is Schlichting. On at first is Wheelis. Nobody out for the Dragons. Bottom of the 5th. Curveball hit on the ground to second. Huffman goes to shortstop for 1. On to first. That's a double play. A 4-6-3 twin killing, and a big play there for the Elkins Knights defensively.
Well, as defending state champions come up with big plays at the most opportunistic times. And Round Rock, they know those DPs, those double plays, are rally killers.
There's Matt Knockreiner, the designated hitter. He is 0 for 2. He's been on base once. He grounded out to first baseman Kelly Shear back in the 2nd, reached on an E6. In the 4th, came around to score the first run for the Dragons. Runner now at third base, Schlichting. Breaking ball, missing down low. Count of 1 ball and no strikes.
Susaneck has thrown himself one heck of a ball game here this afternoon.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Good stop of that ball by Taylor.
And Taylor knows he has got to block anything or stop anything that comes his way, because that run is just 90 feet away, and you don't want to give them any more opportunities.
If you're a knock grinder, you have to stay patient here. Try to get a good pitch to hit. Count is 2-0. He has worked ahead in the count. Left-handed batter. That's a pitch up high for ball 3. Count now 3-0. Now some grumbling from the Elkins fans. Three balls, no strikes. Here is the pitch. That one is going to be down low, ball 4.
Patience by Knockriner. He was able to work it for a walk, was not trying to jack the ball out of the ballpark, especially after his team just hit into a double play. So good patience, good discipline.
And Larry?
Well, this may be a point right here where Reed Wojtek will come up there, maybe even drop down a bunt with that run at third and try to cheat a run home with less than 2 outs on the board.
So the batter Wojtek takes a curveball in there for a strike. Runners on the corners for the Dragons with 2 outs. The Elkins defense getting some instructions from their dugout. Going to shallow up the outfielders a couple of steps. Outfielders out in at medium depth. That pitch is going to be down from the left-hander Susaneck. The count is 1-1. And anticipation. Third baseman Carpenter is in on the infield grass. Now he'll back up. That pitch called strike on the knees. Wojtek backing out of there, but got an inside corner call. Count 1-2, so now one pitch out, one pitch away for Susaneck to get out of the inning unscathed. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball stayed high. Good patience there from Wojtek. So even it up at 2-2. Wojtek trying to keep it alive here for Jordan Danks.
Chance Knight also is warming up in the bullpen for the Elkins Knights.
2 right-handers loosening it up. Coach Carpenter, here's the fastball, got him on the hands, fouled him over towards the on-deck circle on the Round Rock side here on the third base line. Count holding at 2-2. We are in the bottom of the 5th. The Elkins Knights leading the Round Rock Dragons 5-2 along the Texas Sports Radio Network. Here's the pitch. That's going to be fouled off over the first base side and go up over the stands. Count remains 2-2. In honor of our friend Alex Outram, we'll go deuces on the board for one final time this 2003 year. Now setting at the letters is Susaneck. The pitch. Curveball, that's hit into right field. Going back to right fielder Fuel. That's going to go over his head. It's going to go all the way to the track. One run is in. They're waving around Knockriner. He will score, throw down to third base, and he is out. Fuel gunning down Wojtek at third, but 2 runs in for the Dragons. In the inning, 2 runs. There were 3 base hits. There were no errors and no runners left on base. We have played through 5. Your score is 5-4 Elkins along the ball yourself.
KWNX.
Top of the 6th inning, it's 5-4. The Elkins Knights once had a 5-run lead. It's now down to 1. And to take you the rest of the way this afternoon, I turn it over to my partner, Gerald Sanchez.
All right, thanks very much, Mr. Kyle Nickel. 5-4. Fort Bend Elkins led by a score of 5-0. But in the middle innings here, 4th and the bottom of the 5th, Round Rock has battled back and has made it a 1-run ball game. This is truly a state championship ball game. Leadoff hitter here, Will Carpenter, and he takes a pitch that misses low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Carpenter, Jackson, and Carpenter due up in the top of the 6th for the Elkins Knights. The wind in the pitch to the right-handed batter, and the shortstop takes a strike called. John Danks on his 6th inning of work now. After a rocky beginning, he has settled down and thrown 2 goose eggs in the 4th and the 5th. However, there has been activity on the base paths for the Elkins Knights every single inning. So you know that John Langerhans wants this left-hander to get him easily, quickly, and quietly 1, 2, 3. Wind in the pitch, checked his swing. Did he go? First base umpire says yes, he went around. And the senior left-hander has Will Carpenter down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A chance here for Elkins to try to get some runs back. They have the top of the order here in the 6th inning.
Wind and pitch, swing, and a foul down the 3rd base line. Just foul.
That just went off the foul side of the 3rd base bag.
Looking up and down this roster for the Elkins Knights, the majority of these players will be back. They're a young team. Carpenters, the left side of the infield, will be back next year. Both of them are juniors. Shearer is a senior. He'll move on. 1-2. Checked his swing. Did he go? No. Umpire palms down the 1st base line. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think one thing you're seeing right now is a different spring in the step of the Round Rock Dragons. If Danks can go through and get a 1, 2, 3 inning in this upper half of the 6th inning, chance for Round Rock to do some damage in the bottom half.
Check swing, foul down the 3rd base line. Still holding at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They saw Chambliss setting up away. Danks going to the fastball away. A little check swing foul. Just a spoiled job right there by Will Carpenter.
5-4. Top of the 6th. The wind and pitch from Danks. A little flare into center field. Ranging to his right is Wotek. The center fielder is under, makes the catch, and that's 1 away. 1 out, 1 up, 1 down, and Spencer Jackson, the center fielder, comes up to the plate. 5-4. Missouri City Sugarland, Fort Bend Elkins. The Knights lead by a single run. They led at one point, like I said, 5-0. I'm Gerald Sanchez with Kyle Nickel and Larry Cooper patrolling the field, along with our producer and engineer, Mark McLean, on the Texas Sports Radio Network. Wind and pitch, shot, it's fair, down the left field line. Jackson rounding first, and he'll move on to second base. Sliding in there safely with a 1-out double.
Well, for some reason there, Spencer Jackson slowed up as he was going around first base, and the ball knocked around in the corner by Danks, and Jackson able to motor on into second base.
Not really sure why.
It's now 4 extra base hits out of the 10 hits in the ball game by the Knights.
Third baseman Matt Carpenter stands in. Left-handed batter against the left-hander Danks. The fastball is a strike called. No balls and 1 strike.
Nice job spotting the fastball there by Danks on that outside part of the plate against the running it away from the left-handed batting Carpenter.
0-1. Swing and a miss. Breaking pitch. On the outside part of the plate, he went fishing for it. 0-2.
That was the cutter running away from the left-handed batter. Beautiful location that showed itself in the zone, then dipped out to the outside corner.
Now he doesn't have to throw him a strike. Slightly open stance. Matt Carpenter, the pitch. Checked his swing. No appeal. Pitch was down and away. And the first base umpire says, no, if you wait that long, you probably won't get the call.
Again, trying to run that cutter down and out. And Carpenter just able to hold his swing.
A ball and 2 strikes. 1 out. Catcher sets away the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball at the knees, perfectly placed on the outside corner. And Danks picks up yet 1 more strikeout.
Had a beautiful job of pitching by Danks. One of those 2 hard cutters on the first 2 pitches that comes back right back to the fastball, challenges him, and Carpenter cuts right through it.
And I don't know if y'all noticed up in the booth after that, giving words to Carpenter as headed out back to the dugout. There is no animosity lost in this ball game.
The pitch to Kelly Shear is a curveball strike on the outside corner. John Danks now with 9 strikeouts.
And we've seen play get chippy here a little bit. We had a play at second base earlier in the ball game. These two teams kind of worked up a healthy lather against each other, competing for a state title.
Runner goes to third, pitches up and outside, throw to third, put the tag on him. Yes, he got him. Caught stealing. Retires the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. Nobody left, and Kyle Nichols going to Round Rock now.
Right now, the momentum wearing the maroon colors of the Dragons.
Elkins leads by a run, 5-4. We head to the middle of the 6th.
KWNX, Taylor Austin. Everything you need. KWNX, News Talk 360.
The Simmons Media Station.
5-4 Elkins as we begin playing the bottom of the 6th inning, and a curveball misses low and inside to the pinch hitter Thomas Patton. He is pinch hitting for Jordan Danks. Patton bats from the right side. The strike is in there. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Sophomore catcher and outfielder Thomas Patton. Swing and a miss. The left-hander Susaneck is ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 5-4. The Elkins Knights lead on the Texas Sports Radio Network. Left-hander against the right-handed batter. Here's the wind and pitch. Curveball low. Ball 2 evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Big batter here for Susaneck with a 1-run ball game. You do not want that leadoff runner get on base.
Count of 2-2. The wind and the pitch. There's a pop-up. First baseman Shear in foul territory, shades his eyes, makes the catch, and that's the first out. All right, let's break it for station identification. Wherever you may be listening to us on the Texas Sports Radio Network, TSRNsports.com.
KWNX, Taylor Austin. Everything you need. KWNX, News Talk 360.
The Simmons Media Station.
Gerald Sanchez with Kyle Nickel, along with Larry Cooper, and our producer and engineer, Mark McLean, on TSRNsports.com. 5-4 Elkins. Bottom of the 6th, 1 out, nobody on. And Sigmund takes a curveball, strike called. No balls, 1 strike. 5-0 at one point. Now it's 5-4 Elkins. Popped it up foul above the first base dugout. And no balls and 2 strikes to Sigmund. Sigmund has reached base twice, both with infield hits.
If you're Sigmund, you want to get on base, try to turn that lineup over, get back up to the top and Peoples.
0-2. Curveball misses low. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
That was the 100th pitch of the game for Mike Susaneck.
Fans, just a reminder, drop us an email at sports@tsrnsports.com and tell us you're listening to us wherever you may be. Shot into left center field, and that's going to gap. But a heck of a play by the left fielder to get over there and cut it off quickly. Perry, out of some speed by Perry to stop that ball from going in all the way to the wall, allowing Sigmund to have extra bases. 1 out single, puts runner at first, and the top of the order with Nick Peoples.
And Sigmund made the big turn, but Perry getting over there, as you said, cutting that ball off and going into the gap. And Sigmund had to retreat back to first base. Great play there by Perry. Like we talked about, Sigmund gets on base now, turn that lineup over. Here's back to Nick Peoples.
1 out, 5-4 Elkins from Sugar Land, Missouri City. That's the southwest side of Houston. Stretch and the throw to first. And going back in safely is Sigmund. Round Rock, straight north of Austin, past Pflugerville on I-35. The whole community has come out in droves and supported him here up at the Diamond in Round Rock. Pitch stays up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And I just want to say this is a beautiful facility and a first-class organization that the Ryan family has put together here in Central Texas. AA affiliate of the Houston Astros. Throw to first again, and going back in safely is Sigmund. And I understand that they went more than just extra innings last night. 15 innings.
They went 15 innings here last night against the Arkansas Travelers.
1-0, and again throw to first. You know, for years Arkansas Travelers used to be the minor league affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, but they moved on.
I believe you're right.
And now they're in Anaheim.
Yeah,
well, their parent club is Anaheim.
Part of the Angels organization.
1-0 the pitch. Popped it up. Second baseman Huffman in shallow right field. Under it. Makes the catch. And Peoples pops out for out number 2. Now the Round Rock Dragons are starting to run out of outs. There are 4 outs left. John Danks, the pitcher. Left-handed batter this afternoon. He is 0-2 with a hit by a pitch and was stranded at third base. Throw to first again, and Susaneck has the runner Sigmund going back to first base. Susaneck has a very good move to first when he wants to really show it off, and we saw that move to second base as Nick Peoples was caught stealing in the first inning of today's ball game. Curveball in for a strike on the outside part of the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Hit by a pitch in the first inning, fly out to center field in the third, and struck out swinging in the fourth. Is what John Danks has done here this afternoon and is officially at 3 at-bats. Lifts this one into center. Jackson drifts back. He's under it, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We head to the final inning of the 2003 Class 5A State Baseball Championship. Over the Round Rock Dragons 5-4.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
First pitch in the 7th inning is a strike to Kelly Shear as we begin on the Texas Sports Radio Network. Elkins over the Round Rock Dragons 5-4 on TSRN. Kelly Shear, Chad Huffman, and Grant Taylor do up. Swing and a comebacker. Second baseman Fields throws. First base out. 1 up, 1 down on the top of the 7th inning.
And Elkins has that middle of the order do up here. Shear bouncing out, and now you have Huffman and Taylor, so a chance here the Knights looking to tack on an insurance runner.
Second baseman, number 7, Chad Huffman.
1 out. Chad Huffman is 2 for 3. His home run in the 3rd inning, a leadoff home run to left field at the time, gave the Elkins Knights a 5-0 lead. Right-handed batter, and he's hit by a pitch. Hit around the knee area on his leg on the left side, and he'll trot on down to first base. Another hit by pitch. That is the 3rd time that Danks has plunked an Elkins Knight.
And not real surprising with his kind of stuff with fastball. He likes to work inside, particularly with left-handed batters, that he'd get a little too far inside and hit a couple.
Here's Grant Taylor. They're making sure that he is okay. I think they're just putting some type of something on his forearm, looks like.
Well, they're trying to jog it off to
Yeah.
try to shake some life back into that lead leg.
Catch all the scores, standings, stories, rankings, and more on the State's #1 website, the Texas Sports Radio Network, TSRNsports.com. This is Texas Sports.
And so Huffman will stay in the ball game here, and he'll run.
Taylor, the hitter, he's 2 for 3. A single to right in the 3rd, and a base hit to left in the 5th. He struck out looking in the 1st, so 2 for 3. Right-handed batter, catcher. And Taylor will be back next year. He is a junior. Bats from the right side, and the pitch to the right-handed batter is a fastball, is a strike called. And Danks now in his 7th inning of work. He has gone the distance to this point. It's a first pitch strike, and there's nobody warming up in the Round Rock Dragons bullpen. He's settled down. There has been traffic on every inning, but he is not allowed a run since that home run, like I said, to Huffman, and that was in the 3rd inning.
Now 101 pitches in the game, 73 of those for strikes for the left-hander.
Catcher sets outside. Here's the 0-1. Stays way outside. Ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. We had the 2 Austin schools in the greater Austin area make it last year. Austin Bowie and Round Rock Westwood. Bowie playing in the state final last year against Elkins. Curveball is hit to the base of the screen around the on-deck circle on the first base side. And they're going to say catcher's interference. Catcher's interference has put now runners at first and second.
That's a big mistake right there for Mike Chambliss. And now Elkins has some insurance runs on the base pass.
And those are huge because you got this feeling about Round Rock that they're not through yet scoring runs.
Yeah, for Danks here, he has to bear down and try to get out of this inning and let the Dragons bats go to work at the bottom of the 7th with just that 1-run deficit.
Adam Perry, the left fielder, a right-handed batter, is 0 for 2, hit by pitch in the 5th, but the previous 2 times he struck out looking in the 1st and in the 3rd. Slightly open stance, the left-hander Danks brings it. Fastball, a strike right down the middle. No balls and 1 strike. First and second again, they take their leads. Danks gets a sign from his catcher Chambliss. He sets outside. The catcher does. The pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball, outside part of the plate. No balls, 2 strikes.
That fastball had some nice tailing movement there as it got closer to the plate, going away from the right-handed batting Perry.
With velocity and location like that, Danks has been very tough to hit in this 2003 baseball season. 0-2, catcher sets away. The pitch, swing and a miss. Pitch was up. It's another fastball. That would have been a ball, but Perry had no idea. That's the 3rd time that Perry has struck out.
Challenging upstairs with the fastball, and Perry just cut right through it. Danks winning that battle. Now 2 outs in the inning.
And 10 strikeouts for the left-hander, the senior. A record of 10 wins and 2 losses. Mike Susaneck, the pitcher, trying to help his own cause and get an insurance run. First pitch to him is a strike called on the outside corner. Oh-1. Strike called, outside corner, no balls, 2 strikes. Now the crowd is up. They're on their feet. They want 1 more strike. The 0-2. Up and away, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You'd have to say that Round Rock definitely has the home field advantage in this one.
Yeah, you can hear the roar of the crowd every time with the...
So, what do you call yourself?
KWNX.
Susaneck's first pitch in the bottom of the 7th inning is a curveball. Strike call to Schlichting. Schlichting, the right-handed shortstop. 0-1, the pitch. Up and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5-4. The Elkins Knights lead.
And the one thing that's going to take away from this ball game, there is not going to be a loser here today, no matter what the score is. 2 quality opponents facing each other.
Base hit into right field. That ball was hit so hard that Fuel attempted to throw to first base, but Schlichting beat the wrap. He slid in there safely. It wasn't close, but Fuel tried it anyway. A leadoff single, and that is the tying run at first base in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And now the man who homered in yesterday's ballgame, Chance Wheelis, steps to the plate. He represents the potential state championship winning run for the Dragons.
Left-handed batter, first baseman Wheelis.
2 for 3. Base hits into right field in the third and the fifth. In the first, he popped up to the third baseman, Carpenter. The first pitch, low and outside, ball 1. It's Susaneck and nobody else because the Knights do not have anybody warming up in their bullpen beyond the right field wall. Left-hander against left-hander. Stretch and the 1-0. Popped up on the infield. The shortstop, Carpenter, will call for it. Barely has to move. Under it makes the catch. And that's the first out in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Elkins Knights are just 2 outs away from repeating as Class 5A state champions.
That's absolutely a huge out to be recorded there for Mike Susaneck.
Chambliss, the catcher, right-handed batter. He's 0 for 3, hit into a double play in the 5th. The pitch, curveball, strike call. A nasty breaking pitch from Susaneck. No balls and 1 strike.
Great late break on that pitch from Susaneck. Showed itself in the zone, came down. Showed itself in the middle, came down at the knees.
Runner goes, he had them picked off. Throw to first, now to second. He is out! Caught stealing.
And we have seen a couple of gaffes on the base pass by the Round Rock Dragons. We saw that in the game against Plano East, and I made the comment in that ball game that even though they won that ball game, you made base running gaffes in a situation against a team like Elkins, they would make you pay for it. That's exactly what has happened.
First baseman Shear caught that ball from the the pitcher Susaneck, and he threw on to the shortstop Carpenter, and he applied the tag on Schlichting. And now they are down 2 and out. Chambliss is their last hope. Wind and pitch from Susaneck. There's a grounder to the shortstop. This may do it. Carpenter, the throw to first. Elkins repeats as the Class 5A state champions. Jumped out to a 5-0 lead and had to hold on for dear life. Congratulations to Rick Carpenter and the Fort Bend Elkins Knights, state champions. And now let's go down to the field.
Really good. It's indescribable. This is one of the finest feelings, if not the finest feeling I've ever had in this profession.
You got up to a 5-0 lead, then Round Rock got a couple of runs in back-to-back innings. The ball flies over the right fielder's head, and you got to think, oh, here they come. But the defense settled itself down, and that was a big pickoff down at second base.
Oh, that was big time. You know, start that game out, and you talking about early or late?
Yeah, both
yeah, I mean the one early in the game. You know, we caught the kid off guard, and you know they could have had a big inning right there if we hadn't used that play. And then at the end where we used the pickoff over here, that's tremendous. That was a big play.
Almost like a hidden ball play, but the defense ran it to perfection and got the pickoff down at second.
Absolutely. I'm real proud of our kids to be able to execute a play like that in a pressure situation.
We talked about coming to state 4 years in a row and to get back-to-back titles. You got to feel real good about the way this program just continues to play at a top-notch level.
I'm very pleased. I'm very humbled by our success. I appreciate all the people involved, the community, our faculty and staff, all of our coaches, and it's a tribute to everybody that's a part of this.
And really, 5A, the way they really set y'all up for this playoff, you got to give Clements and Dulles the way they played in that district race, really setting y'all up an opportunity. They just give y'all a lot of credit too.
Oh, absolutely. When we come out of District 25A, we're battle hardened.
The greater Houston area region, it's one of the toughest regions to survive in the state of Texas.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Absolutely.
Congratulations. Go enjoy it with the kids.
Thanks. I appreciate that. Hey, can you guys wait till I shake hands?
Rick Carpenter joining us from post-game show. The winning pitcher, Michael Susaneck, in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Larry. Larry's going to have post-game reaction throughout here this afternoon. We're at the Diamond in Round Rock, where we have just witnessed back-to-back state championships for the first time in our wonderful state of Texas, for the first time since '87-'88 when Abilene Cooper went back-to-back in Class 5A. Well, the Round Rock Dragons, heck of a push near the end, but the Elkins Knights hang on and win by a final score of 5-4. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back right after this on TSRNSports.com.
We got 5 letters here, but only 4 beats, so squeeze them in as best you can.
Paint appliance.
That's cute.
Well, you can wash it, you can dry it, you can bake it, you can fry it. Paint appliance. Paint appliance. You can freeze it, you can cool it, you can really rock and rule it. Paint appliance. Paint appliance. Let's shop Paint Appliance.
Oh, baby.
Let's shop Paint Appliance. Oh, baby. Let's shop. You can get your hands on all the best Paint Appliance.
Yep, 5 big stores means big buying power and lower prices. And at the new store on Old Katy and Beltway, Bain now features home theater system. Don't you forget these 5 letters, B-A-Y-N-E, BainAppliance.com on the web.
Do you know what's in your credit files? You should, because whenever you apply for a mortgage, home rental, auto loan, credit card, or even a job, you can be sure that someone will know. Now you can check your credit files before others do with Credit Compare, authorized by the 3 national credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Credit Compare lists all the information from the 3 bureaus in a single, easy-to-read personal profile of your credit history. Credit Compare shows you anything that may cause you a problem, even late payments. And if you find any information that's not accurate, Credit Compare tells you how to correct it. Now when someone checks your credit, you'll feel confident knowing they'll receive accurate and up-to-date information, increasing your chances of getting what you want. Don't wait. Take control of your credit today by calling Credit Compare. Check your credit records at all 3 bureaus for only $29.95 plus $2.95 shipping and handling.
To subscribe, call 1-800-418-7600.
You got it, son. You got it, man.
Come on, baby. You can do it.
What if this weren't the sound of parents cheering their kids on in a basketball tournament, or a football game, or a track and field meet? What if this were the sound of parents cheering for their kids in algebra? Show the same kind of commitment to your kids' education that you show in everything else they do, and imagine the success they might achieve. Check in with your kids' teachers, even when there's not a problem. Maybe drop into their school every now and then. Nothing is more valuable than a strong partnership between you, your child, and the school. Stay involved in your kids' education. And this could be the sound you hear on graduation day. For more ways to stay involved in their education, call 1-800-281-1313. Success in school equals success in life. A message brought to you by the Ad Council and Partners for Public Education, a partnership of the NAACP and People for the American Way Foundation.
Gerald Sanchez with Kyle Nickel back here at the Diamond in Round Rock, the state champions. The Elkins Knights, we're going to go on the field for more post-game reaction. And Larry Cooper.
Coach John Langerhan joined us in the post-game show, and I know this is not the way you wanted to end the season, but you lost to a very good baseball team.
Yes, we did. They swing the bats as good as anybody we've played all year, and you got to take your hat off to them. They got some real hitters, and they took on the challenge of John Danks, and he pitched his heart out, but we just came up short. We battled back. I thought the guys showed some character battling back. We did a few things wrong that's kind of uncharacteristic of us down the wire, but still the guys gave great effort, and I'm so proud of them. You know, I can't be prouder of a bunch of guys than I am this bunch.
And talk about the quality of this program and everything. These kids are going to be able to pass on this legacy to the next group that's going to be coming up, the juniors and seniors the next year. But really, Danks and Knockrander, the way they led this team this year, and all of your seniors, you got to give them a lot of credit for climbing back in this ball game, being down 5-0. They never gave up.
That's right. They haven't given up all year, and they didn't today. We just came up 1 run short. We've been fortunate all year to pull things out, but today we didn't. But still, the character on this ball club is tremendous. And hopefully these young guys on this team will look up to those guys. Well, they do look up to them, and I hope they carry it on next year and the following year and the following year after that, that this is what it's all about. learn from that and go on.
Congratulations, 36 wins on the season. I know you won that 37, but a 36-4 run to the state title ball game. What a great season.
Not too bad. We'll take it. We would have liked that other one, but
I know you get to reflect back on it in a couple of weeks. That's really when you need to sit down and talk about it. John Langerhans, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Coach John Langerhans joins us in the post-game show as we get set for the crowning of the state champions for 2003, the Elkins Knights.
All right, thanks, Larry. Heard the words of John Langerhans, and he said it best. You know, you got to tip your hat to the Elkins Knights. They have some great hitters, and they certainly did both years they won the state championship.
Today against a very good pitcher, John Danks, swung the bats very well, established that big early lead, then they're able to hold on there at the end. Congratulations, first of all, to the Round Rock Dragons. A spectacular season, obviously a heartbreaking finish to it, but when they look back, 5 years from now, they're going to know how good this ball club was. But you had to give credit to the Elkins Knights, a ball club not expecting by many to come back here to repeat, and they are going to bring home the trophy, and you had to give Coach Rick Carpenter and his ball club just give all the credit in the world.
All right, we have more post-game on the field. Let's go to Larry Cooper again.
And to the victor goes the spoils. Athletic Director Keith Kilgore of the Fort Bend ISD. Congratulations, back-to-back state titles. It's got to feel really good.
Oh, it's just a wonderful experience. These kids are just absolutely unbelievable. I told somebody come in here today that, I don't know how anybody could bet against these kids today. They've done so many things. They've come from behind so many times. They really know how to win. They've got a lot of character, and they played a great team today. I mean, Round Rock just has some tremendous athletes. They kept coming back, and this thing wasn't in hand until that last out was made, and I'm really proud of both of these teams. I'm appreciative of the UIL and the great job they did. Look at this. What a showcase for high school sports. And we were due. This is the 7th time we brought that Fort Bend's brought a team to state this year. And the averages were on our side. We were fixing to win one because of that. So, yeah, we're really extremely proud.
And it doesn't hurt to have the 4th-time defending regional champions to come in here and try to win a state title.
That's correct. And, since 1989, we have had a representative in this state tournament 8 times. So, we play good baseball in District 25A, and, I think that helps a team like Elkins when they get here is that they've really been through a lot of tests.
Right.
Yeah, the people that we play in our district, Clement's obviously a tremendous ball club this year. Dulles had a great season, had a good run in the playoffs, and even our 4th and 5th place finishers, had winning records this year, and I think that being in a situation where you play those type of people over and over really, tempers you for the playoffs.
And we talk about it throughout the greater Houston area, how tough it is just to survive that region. Really vindication as we see more and more teams come to the state championship level of how good the programs are in the greater Houston area.